The nation's second largest cigarette maker is fighting this morning to reduce a $23 billion jury award. The plaintiff, the widow of a smoker, it is among the biggest verdicts ever for a single plaintiff in a wrongful death lawsuit. Elaine Cano spoke to that widow and her attorneys. Elaine, good morning.
Good morning to you. Cynthia Robinson and her attorneys were seeking more than $100 million from Reynolds Tobacco Company for the death of her husband, Michael, who began smoking their cigarettes when he was 13. Late Friday night, a jury foreman read the verdict, a figure 230 times what they were seeking. Cynthia Robinson and her attorneys were in the courtroom when the verdict was read. What was your reaction?
We sent out a message. R.J. Reynolds, it's time for them to make a change.
The 6 jurors decided that tobacco company R.J. Reynolds should pay Robinson $17 million in compensatory damages and $23.6 billion in punitive damages for the death of her husband, Michael Johnson. He died of lung cancer in 1996.
To the day he died, Michael smoked.
And how many packs a day in the end?
He got up to 3 packs a day.
Attorney Willie Gary says during the trial they presented documents from the tobacco industry, some dating back to the 1960s.
They refused to give this information out, that nicotine and tobacco will get you hooked. More than likely, you try to stop, you try to stop, you try to stop.
But your husband had a choice that he could have stopped smoking, you say?
He did have a choice, but did he have a choice to know what was in it? Would he have made that choice? You didn't give him the listing of everything that you had in these cigarettes to let him have a choice? They did not.
In court, attorney Chris Chestnut played jurors a video of tobacco executives testifying before Congress in 1994. How did that affect, you think, the outcome here?
We saw on a video every tobacco executive from the major companies and the microphone going from each one to the next, and they're all saying tobacco is not addictive.
Do you believe nicotine is not addictive?
I believe nicotine is not addictive, yes.
Mr. Johnston.
Congressman, cigarettes and nicotine clearly do not meet the classic definitions of addiction. There is
and we just shown the jury documents from decades before, internal, confidential, private, secret documents that said tobacco is addictive.
R.J. Reynolds declined our request for an interview, but in a statement the company said it would appeal the decision, calling it, quote, grossly excessive and impermissible under state and constitutional law. What's the message that you took away when you heard $23.6 billion?
Justice has been served, not only for me, for others. I have children, I have grandchildren that's coming up in the world. I don't want them to lose their lives over smoking cigarettes. She was trying.
In similar cases, appeals have significantly reduced large jury awards. Robinson's attorneys say they're prepared to fight any such legal action, and Robinson herself told me no matter what, she plans to donate some of the money to charity.
Yeah, when I first heard it, I thought it was a typo when I first saw the numbers written out.
Yeah, and she was stunned. You know, she said that when she was in the courtroom, when they said the verdict, she said, oh, $23 million. And they said, no, $23 billion. She could not believe it. But she believes that this is about sending a message. You heard her say that. She thinks that with that figure, even if that figure is reduced, that the message will already have been delivered.
Now, I had heard she was with a group of people at first and then dropped out and decided to pursue it on her own.
That's right. And she got with these attorneys who, as they delved into this, uncovered those documents, those thousands and thousands of pages of documents. And they said when they were presenting those to the jurors, you could see, especially with that video that we saw as well, you could see that they were really taking that in, and they believe that was part of what decided this case.
Have we heard from the jurors?
We haven't yet.
Sending a message. Thank you, Elaine.